Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Israel has just begun removing newly installed metal detectors at the entrances to the Temple Mount. The decision comes after several grueling rounds of talks at the Security Cabinet, which was prompted by the dramatic increase in violent riots and terror attacks since the detector's installation. At the meeting, it was decided to replace the metal detectors with advanced smart technologies, costing the state an estimated 100 million shekels over the next 6 months. One suggestion that was brought up in a previous meeting was high-resolution cameras that could detect hidden objects. But the state has neither confirmed nor denied that these cameras are the smart technologies mentioned. In fact, cameras were also being removed from the Temple Mount security checkpoints. The metal detectors were erected in the first place to prevent further terror attacks following the July 14th killing of 2 police officers on the Temple Mount. The Israeli guard that was wounded in an attack on the Israeli embassy compound in Jordan has now returned to Israel. The guard made it over the Israeli-Jordanian border through the Allenby crossing last night with the rest of the staff from Israel's embassy in Amman. The whole group was led by Ambassador Einat Schlein with close cooperation between Israeli and Jordanian security. The Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu called to welcome back both the ambassador and the guard, whose identity has not yet been released to the public. Just before the staff made it back to Israel, Netanyahu also spoke with the King of Jordan, who is demanding Israel find an immediate solution to the ongoing crisis on the Temple Mount. According to a report from Israel's Channel 2 News, the Jordanian government said they would only help secure the passage of the Israeli guard and embassy staff if Israel's metal detectors were removed from the holy site. It looks like Jordan has officially finished its investigation into the shooting attack at the Israeli embassy in Amman, and they're claiming that the whole incident was caused by an argument over delay in delivering furniture. According to Jordan's Public Security Directorate, the whole incident began when the 17-year-old attacker, Mohammed Al-Juwada, arrived at a residential building used by embassy staff with another man and the landlord. The 2 men were late and a verbal dispute broke out between the Israeli guard and Al-Juwada. That's when the Jordanian teenager attacked the Israeli diplomat with a screwdriver. The guard fired back at the teen, injuring him and the building's landlord, who was standing nearby. Both Jordanians died of their injuries in the hospital. The landlord has now been identified as Dr. Bashar Kamel Hamarne, an orthopedic surgeon. It seems like a supposed Hamas member in Austria has gotten himself into trouble recently, as his online incitement to violence in Jerusalem has landed him a life sentence in prison. The 27-year-old Palestinian man, who remains unnamed due to Austrian privacy laws, is charged with inciting fellow radicals to kill Jews and belonging to Hamas, a terrorist organization. The defense has vowed to appeal the decision, but the jury seems pretty convinced. They deliberated on the evidence of the defendant praising the work of terrorists, expressing pride in being an affiliate of Hamas, an internationally recognized terror organization, and calling for violence and murder against Jews. Additionally, it's not his first offense. The prosecutors also made note of the fact that the Palestinian man had served 9 years in prison in Israel for committing acts of terror. The Israeli boycott of anti-Israel boycotters is making waves again today, as 5 members of the Jewish Voice for Peace organization were prevented from boarding an Israeli-bound Lufthansa flight. Reportedly, it's due to their history with the BDS movement. Lufthansa spokesman Tal Muskal confirmed the report that the Israeli government asked them to prevent the group from entering, but not the reason. He said, quote, "We don't know who these people are. We have no information as to why the Israeli government does not want them to enter. We simply have to abide by the rules and regulations of every country in which we operate," end quote. The rules he refers to come from an amendment to the law of entry passed in March in the Israeli Knesset, which allows Israel to prevent BDS movement leaders and members from entering the country. This is not the first incident like this since the amendment passed, but JVP believes it to be the first time the law was used against Jews. There's been no comment from the Israeli government on the matter, but from the language on the law, it would seem the members of JVP are essentially considered enemies of the state.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.